What is good, y'all? Welcome back to Appreciate Greatness. Something looks different here. You can't see the mic. That's probably what it is. Anyway, we are going to be reacting to the Ringers mock draft. Last year I did this video and it got me a lot of views, which was fun. But I just love, reacting to a mock draft, seeing what other people think about this year's draft. And I think we're just going to hop right in. This is the big board. Actually, we're going to react to their big board. Their mock draft released 5/12, so there's a lot of different players, and there's going to be players on here, I'm sure, that have since dropped out of the draft, even after confirming they would be in the draft. LeBaron Philon was one of those guys. But starting with John Tonje, guy from Wisconsin, pure score. I mean, that's what he does. One thing I love is these player comps. Quincy Olivari, just pure shooter. That's really what you got to think of Tonje as. And I don't love this big board. Tonje at 49 is crazy. There's a lot of better guys that didn't even make this list than him, but I will live with it. At 48, we have Hansen Yang out of China. I think it's Hansen Yang out of China. He is just a big guy, 7'1", moves pretty well, shoots a lot of threes. He's not like a great three-point shooter, but he shoots a lot of them. You can see here he's a willing three-point shooter, not a consistent one. Really good post player. He passes well out of the post. They're just kind of talking about how before we talk about him in the Alpi Jokic talks, let's slow down a little bit. They have Luke Cornett and Alperen Sengun up there. I don't think he'll turn out to be that good. He's not a super great three-point shooter, like I said, and he's not a great defender at all from the center spot, and that's trouble. Cam Jones, I thought he was a little bit taller than what they have him here, 6'3", and a quarter. But I love Cam Jones' game, man. I have him top 30 on my big board, which I will probably make a video on, or I'll just do a mock draft, and he probably is going to make the first round for a contending team. I love this comparison right here, AJ Mitchell. He didn't shoot the three ball well, Cam Jones didn't this year, but he can do it. We saw him with Tyler Kolek do it at a pretty good level. And early in his college career, he did it. I think he shot 39%. So I'm big on Cam Jones being a really good connecting piece, playing the two guard, the one, whatever you need him to do. He really showed playmaking chops, defensive chops last year at Marquette, so I love him. Dink Pate is a very athletic, long, lanky guy, and you see that with these comparisons. Leonard Miller, Sidy Cissoko, and Louis King. These two guys, and Leonard Miller and Sidy Cissoko, actually were two of my favorite guys in the draft. Dink Pate doesn't quite get there. I don't really believe too much in his three-point shooting. I don't love his shot selection. I just don't think he's a very great player, but he's very natural, and he is pretty smooth, so I do think there's a pretty good chance that he could develop into some sort of role player, Nickeil Alexander level role player, where he's playing really great defense and doing the thing on that level. I'm just realizing that it froze. Hold on. Alright, we should be good. Just talked about Dink Pate, obviously. Here's the comparisons, Leonard Miller, Sidy Cissoko. Like I said, AJ Mitchell was who I was talking about with Cam Jones that I liked. I'm not going to redo it. I'm just going to tell y'all that. Hugo Gonzalez at 45, sure, right? Played really good against his competition, but the shooting is poor. Didn't play a lot for Real Madrid, but he's been there since he was 9. I think there's a chance where he could be good in the NBA. It's going to take a good amount of developing and time and effort on a team standpoint, but just one of those guys where struggles to shoot the ball well, but can get hot here and there. You see some of this stuff they're talking about, but Nikola Jurisic, Ignas Brazdeikis, and Micic, really good playmaker. He does have a little bit of those type of chops, or he could probably play the one even though he's 6'6", right? So could be a guy. Tyrese Proctor, I would have Hugo above. I would have Cam Jones above. I'd probably have Dink Pate above. I'm not a big fan of Tyrese Proctor's game, other than he has gotten better from three every single year. He's shown the ability to run some point guard. He can play defense, but there's like times where he just doesn't look good at all as a basketball player, especially in big spots in March Madness or in the ACC championship in the tournament. He just struggles in those big time spots and against good competition. So I'm very low on Proctor, but I do see a world where he becomes a solid player, but I'm very low on him. His comparisons: Shamet, Hood Schifino, Dinwiddie. Sure. Johni Broome. This is a guy I was high on early in the season. I think he's got great timing. I think he passes really well. Timing as shot blocker. I think he passes really well. Very strong guy. But he's small. He plays a lot of interior. Doesn't shoot the ball particularly well. And, you can see this. Tyler Hansbrough, Drew Timme, Oscar Tshiebwe, Trevion Williams. Just doesn't have the speed to keep up with the NBA. And that's fine. He's going to be a great player, probably overseas. But I do think he could probably get a rookie contract or get, 2 years where he looks, decent as the 14th, 15th man on a roster somewhere. Rocco Zikarsky, I'm not big on him. 7'3" guy, moves decently, gets hurt a lot, can block shots, and you see that right here. Shot blocking injury concerns. There was a world where he can make a three. He hasn't really done it much. Didn't have a great NBL year in Australia. So, again, another guy I'm not very high on, and there's just a lot of those guys here at the bottom of this list. Now we get to a guy that I love. Zion James, out of Duke. He was just a connector, and he reminds you a lot of Lou Dort. And, you see these player comparisons: Jae'Sean Tate, PJ Tucker, David Roddy, Royce O'Neal. And I think he's a better ball handler than all of them. I think he could turn into a better shooter than all of them. He's awesome. He's awesome. And he really does make well and pass well. And I think he just does everything so well that he's going to be a good player in the NBA, especially with his frame and his size. I just don't see a world where he's not. Michael Ruzic, don't have much to say. Didn't play much this year. He's slow. He's 6'11". Just kicked the bottle. Oh my gosh, I'm a mess over here. But yeah, I'm not high on Ruzic. I wish he would wait a year, maybe go back to CJB and try again and see if he can play. But here's his stuff. I don't even think he's a particularly great shooter, even though they have catch and shoot threat. But I'm not high on him. RJ Lewis, another guy I'm not high on. Pure scorer, really, at the college level. Shot a lot of twos, a lot of mid-range. It doesn't shoot the three ball well. Now he plays really good defense. He is, you see it here, on ball defense. He got that. He is a dog, and that whole St. John's team is a dog. I got a shirt with him, Kadari Richardson, and Ejiofor on there. But I'm just not high on RJ Lewis's game transferring to an NBA level. Azana Monza, a guy who I think has been mocked. And I know he was mocked in last year's draft. I don't remember if he was mocked in 2 years ago draft or not. But went OTE, went G League Ignite. Now he was in Perth in the NBL, I believe. But I think he went to the NBL. Yeah. Showed improvement in lone season with Perth. So it's been weird. He can shoot a little bit, but it's like it's kind of that inconsistent big man. He's 6'9", 6'10". That inconsistent big man jumper where it's like he could, but he probably won't be able to. It's one of those things where you see Mitchell Robinson in the gym hitting step back threes. They can make them, but in a game, in an NBA atmosphere, is he really going to be a good shooter? He's got great touch around the rim. He's a good rebounder. I think the biggest thing for him is, can he defend at an NBA level? And it's kind of here, Let's look. Almanza is a little jumpy on defense, impressive hip mobility, and moves better than the average human being his size. I would say so. Oso Ighodaro passes way better than him. I think, Enrique Freeman, Rashawn Holmes comparison's a little closer to what he can be. I truly believe Azana Monza will be a solid, big, rotation guy for someone. Kobe Brea. This is just pure shooting. Doesn't play much defense at all, but can knock down a three. And in today's NBA, that's needed. He shot, I think, 46% at Kentucky from three. He was unbelievable. He's such a fun player to watch. That's all I really got to say on him. He's going to be drafted, and he can shoot the lights out of a place. It's just, can he defend to an NBA level, or just a below average, like a slightly below average NBA level, to where he can stick on the court a little bit and get those shots off. That's the biggest question with him. Maxime Reynaud, low on this list. I mean, 36 feels very low. Moves super well, can post up, can shoot the three. There was a play where he pump faked 2 dribbles and then just brought it back and dunked. I mean, that's the type of player we're talking about with Reynaud. Renaud, I don't even know how to say his name, really. Again, when I watch most of these guys, I want to be a commentator or an analyst. Obviously, that's why I'm doing this. And I cannot stand some of the people that commentate. So I never watch with sound on. So I normally don't really learn how to say someone's name until I really watch a whole bunch of mock drafts or big boards or something. Next, we have Ryan Kalkbrenner. I'm very high on Ryan Kalkbrenner. I think he does it all. He's finished 78% of his shots at the rim this year. Great shot blocker, can catch lobs, can shoot the three a little bit, stretch it out. I don't know exactly what he shot from three. I'm going to pause the recording and figure that out. Kalkbrenner shot 34% from three while improving every single year. They haven't compared to Luke Kornet. I think he's a mixture of Luke Kornet now and Luke Kornet when he was young. You know, when Luke Kornet was young, he was letting him fly. Kalkbrenner, I think, is a guy who you can have shooting the ball. I mean, 34.4% in his senior year of college while improving every single year. I think that's something that you can build on. And then just defensively, he's so solid. He moves pretty well for being 7'1", blocks shots. I love Ryan Kalkbrenner. Adu Thiero, another guy that kind of feels pretty low down here at 34. He's a dog. You see another got that dog in him. Really good defender. Jumps out of the gym. It's unbelievable. He cuts well. I think he's got really good feel. I think he's 22 maybe on my big board. He's somewhere in that area. He's pretty high. I do really like him a lot. He's 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan. Jumps really high, like I said. The jumper has a long way to go. I think he shot 20-something% this year from three. So it's got a little bit of a way, but I do love Adu Thiero. At 33, I need to hurry this up. We're already 12 minutes in. We have Walter Clayton Jr. Multifaceted shooter. I think that's the best way to put him. He shoots off of NBA actions. A lot reminds me of Jamal Murray. I would actually like to see Adu Thiero's comparisons to Toumani Camara. So just pure defender. Torrey Craig, Haywood Highsmith. So guys who really defend hard, but those guys shoot better than him. So I don't know. We have Jared Butler, Jamal Murray, CJ McCollum, Keontae George. Reminds me a lot of Jamal Murray. Shoots off actions, can play make a little bit. He's not a true one. Probably going to be forced to play the one, but not a true one. Should probably be a two. If he plays next to a Jokic type guy, he'll be good. And he went back to college to work on his defense and just blew up. To Hod Pettiford, we're not going to talk about. He's at 32, but he is going back to college. Asa Newell at 31, another guy that feels kind of low, has really good touch. I think the three-point shot is one that most people are banking on him being able to develop even more and more. Great athlete. He's just kind of that pure, 4-5 hybrid of really good verticality, blocks some shots inside, rebounds pretty well, and has some touch to where, hopefully you can play the four like a John Collins-esque player is kind of my thought. Zeke Naji, Marvin Bagley, Precious Achiuwa, and Nick Claxton are their comparisons. But to me, I see him as being like a young John Collins where the three's not fully developed yet, but it's got a chance, and he just jumps. He jumps a lot. He likes to jump, to block shots, to rebound, to catch lobs, to catch it and just jump up and dunk it. He likes to jump. Joan Behringer. I'm a big Joan Behringer guy, but I'm not quite 30, I don't think. So maybe I'm not a big Joan Behringer guy. I think he's going to be great. I do. I think he's going to be a really good rim protector, shot blocker, rim runner. Just whatever you need. He can set a good screen. He's pretty physical. Instinctive, physically gifted big man who's as raw as sashimi. He's got a chance, man. The comps, Muhammad Gay, Daniel Gafford, Bruno Caboclo, Rashawn Holmes. I see this a lot. out of Joan Berringer. I think that Daniel Gafford comp is pretty perfect for him. Axel Lindbergh, we're not going to talk about. I'm so disgusted that he went back, man. It sucks. I loved him. Liam McNeely, I'm very low on. 28 feels very high for him. He can shoot, but he didn't shoot well. He played a lot more on ball than he should have, but he also finished, I think he was like 41% in the rim. He was not good. It worries me. Corey Kispert, Caleb Houston, Sam Hauser, Tomas Satoransky. I think he's more of like, I think he's less than all of these guys, really. I don't see him being a super great three-point shooter in general, and he doesn't do super well with the ball in his hands. So we're going to move on to Bogoslav Markovic. And if I'm being honest, haven't watched a ton of Markovic, but I do know some things. Where he's another one of those four men. He's kind of Pokusevski-like, where he's really skinny but tall. And he shoots the three a lot. He likes the three ball. It's one that I think he can knock down. And according to The Ringer, again, I'll have to dive even further in. Probably one of the guys who I'm least prepared on, if I'm being honest. I think you could probably tell that with the way I'm trying to explain him. But we're going to look at The Ringer. They say the Hartenstein push shot, so that's great. If he has a middle game, if he has the three-point shot to the point where I think he does, he could be a really great player. It's going to be trying to develop the defense, because I can tell you for a fact, just not a good defender at all. And, you know, he's very, like, I don't know how to explain this. He's very, like, just here. You know, he doesn't move like an athlete. He moves like a stiff statue. Henry Ellison, Davis Bertans, Jean Butler, Nemanja Bjelica, I'm pretty on board with. Ben Saraf, this is about where he is at on my big board. Great passer, doesn't really, I think he handles the ball well, but doesn't really create for himself super well. I do like how he gets to the pull-up mid-range. I do like how he handles the pick and roll, but outside of that, I'm just not huge on him, especially defensively. And it's really the big thing with him is everything outside of the pick and roll and without the ball in his hands. What is he going to be for you? And it's just not much, if we're being honest. Terrible three-point shooter. Does turn the ball over a little bit more than I would like, but I think he's going to be all right in that regard. Jace Richardson, another guy kind of right where I have him ranked. Except the thing is, I want to have him ranked so much higher. I just cannot get over that fact that he's 6 foot flat, so 6'1", 6'2" with shoes. He does everything. He's a 3-level scorer with great feel, defends his ass off, tries very hard on that end. Again, it's just that height. It scares me away a little bit. He probably will be a guy that rises as we get closer to the draft for me on my board, but 25, I cannot blame The Ringer for having him there. Nolan Traore, or Traore, is a guy I have way higher. He's a guy I have way higher. I think I have him 11. I love his feel. The feel for the game. Out of the pick and roll, it's even better than Ben Saraf, but he creates for himself better. He's got that quick twitch, and he gets the mid-range with ease. It's not there quite yet, but I do believe it will be there eventually. And his comps are Nico Mannion. I'm not even going to read these. I don't agree. Other than Rod Strickland and Jeff Teague. I do see the Jeff Teague a little bit, but I think he's a better passer even. Rasheer Fleming at 23 feels so low. I mean, most of these guys, you know, that I'm calling low down here, like in the 30s, you know, move them up to 20. Some of these guys dropping down to 30, not a big deal. But Rasheer Fleming feels like there's no way he's not going to be good in the NBA. He's a great athlete. He blocks shots. He dunks everything. He shoots the three plus at 40+%. And he's 6'8", 6'10" with shoes on, 7'5" wingspan, 7'6" wingspan if you want to round up a little bit for him. I just don't see a way where when he's playing the 4, he's not a good player in the NBA. A lot of Jarris Walker-like, but even better. Taylor Hendricks-like, but even better. Like, in that draft class, I think I would have him ranked above both of them. I'd have him ranked above Taylor Hendricks. I don't know about Jarris Walker because Jarris, you know, kind of could dribble it a little bit better. What if Taj Gibson shot a 3, Paul Reed, Sam Perkins, J. Michael Green? I think he's a better shooter than all of them. I think he just shoots the crap out of the ball, and he's got a 7'5" wingspan, and that's really what you need to know about him. Colin Murray-Boyles, very low. I don't buy into the shot at all. I do think that he is a good post player. It's just the defense it's such a surefire thing for him right now that he's going to be a good defender, that you can put him high. For me, I put him high on my big board because I trust a team that takes him to be able to develop or get something out of him offensively. I think he's going to be a hub at the NBA level where he's, passing off handoffs and hitting cutters from the, high post area. I think he'll be that type of player. I don't know about the offensive game outside of that, though. I don't know about the offensive game outside of passing. I don't know how he's going to score, especially not 17 points per game. But defensively, he's really great. Drake Powell. This feels high for Drake Powell because you're putting a lot of trust in what he did at the high school level, which I'm not against. He's 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan, right? I'm not against putting him at 21, especially when he went to North Carolina, and I'm a North Carolina fan, but they were god-awful, and Hubert Davis, that offense was just a mess. And I will say Drake Powell off the catch and shoot, great player. Everything else just wasn't really there. I felt like he was a decent cutter at times. I pretty much watched every Drake Powell game. It's just, defensively, he's going to be great. I just would like to see him go back for another year, develop a little more, come back. And maybe that's, kind of blurring my vision of him. And the more I watch other guys, the more I'll be like, yeah, Drake Powell's better. But for now, 21, I think I have him actually high. I think I moved him up the other day. 21 feels about right. I overreacted at first. 21 feels about right. Noah Esingeh at 20. A lot of people love Noah Esingeh, and I'm not really there with him. And that might sound crazy. I'm not there. A lot of people like the way he is. He runs the floor. He's very versatile. I don't see it with the defensive side of the ball. He's going to be good, I think. I don't know if he's going to be great at all. Offensively, I just don't see anywhere that he's good at the level he's playing at Ratio Farm Home, and that worries me because he is overseas and he's playing in France for a team that Trevion Williams used to play for a team that Ben Saraf plays for this year, and I don't know how to explain just this offensive void that he doesn't fill. For me, pushes him down a lot. Now, obviously he can develop. Obviously the jump shot can develop. He's not a good shooter right now. He gets to the free throw line so much. Like an unprecedented amount from a prospect. I've never seen it before. I don't believe in it. I just don't. I don't know what it is. It's a lot of eye test here, obviously. I just don't believe in it, and you can call me an idiot, whatever. I'm fine with that because this is my, it's my decision. Darius Bazley, Isaac Bonga, Tayshaun Prince, Bilal Coulibaly. I do think he has a little bit of both those mixed into him. I don't know. Will Riley, another guy who people have really fallen in love with. I'm not super in love with. I just don't think he moves super smoothly. I don't think he truly feels... I don't think he knows what a great shot is at times. I think he kind of gets so confident in himself almost that he gets tunnel vision. I do think he has good feel, though. He's one of those weird guys where he's kind of got a devil on this shoulder and an angel on this shoulder, both telling him what to do, and he just confines to one of them each time down the court. It's sometimes where he comes over, the devil takes him over, and he throws something up and you're like, what the heck? And then sometimes he'll throw it up and he'll make it, and then he just gets lights out. And so he's a tough guy for me to really know what to do with. I don't love his BART query, which is barttorvik.com. One of the best is it .com? I don't know. Bart Torvik, one of the best websites I've ever seen. Jet Howard, Nikola Jovic, Quincy Miller, Kevin Martin. I think he could develop some sort of on-ball game. LeBaron Philon just popping up my screen makes me so sad. He was top 10, I think, for me. Noah Pinda, great defender, probably the best defender in this draft. Has good feel, passes well at Le Mans. I don't know what he's going to be in the NBA, if I'm being honest. I don't believe in the three-point shot. It's very flat. I just don't know. There's so many guys. Noah Singe, Noah Pinda, Will Riley, Drake Powell, Colin Murray-Boyles, Ben Saroff, Jace Richardson. This stretch of guys, I get so up and down with, where I'm like, one day it'll be like, Noah Pinda, he's going to be great. Next day I'm watching and I'm like, I don't like him anymore. And then I'll watch again a week later and I'm like, dude, what was I talking about a week ago? I love this guy. And then the next week I'm like, I see what I was talking about. I see the flaws. Every one of these guys have such immense amount of, like, sometimes there are flaws that guys have that you're like, okay, but their pros overweigh that. And sometimes there are pros that guys have that you're like, but the flaws overweigh that. And there's not many of those guys. It feels so 50-50 with pros and cons this year. And Noah Pinda's kind of like that, where the three-point shot's not there. I feel like he cuts well, but he doesn't cut a lot. It's just defensively, he's such a great defender that to the level that I'm like, okay, there's no way he doesn't work out in the NBA somehow, some way. Where a team just really buys into making him be able to shoot a jumper. Thomas Sorber, old school game, defensive anchor like this says right here. I love that. 2 blocks and 1.5 steals per game. Look at those percentages. 7.4, 2.7. I mean, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. And he's got a chance to be a really good offensive player because he's got great touch. He's got great feel. In the short roll, he's awesome. Like, I'm kind of in love with Thomas Sorber. Kevon Looney feels right. Al Horford, just a mixture of those two, and we'll leave it at that. Cedric Howard, I have him at 6 on my big board. I'm going to say it right now. Reminds me so much of J-Dub. Shoots the ball really well. Is only 22 at the time of the draft, I believe, which is insane because he played his 5th year. I think his 5th or 4th year of college basketball this year. Went D3 at first. It's just the story that I love. Plays great defense on and off the ball. I don't see a way where he comes into the NBA and doesn't play a massive impact because of the way he handled the ball at Washington State and the way he can play off ball if you need him to because he shoots the 3 so well. Ayo Dosunmu, what are we talking? I'm done. I'm not even going to look at the rest. Nick Clifford, also love Nick Clifford. Didn't transfer up from Colorado State. Stayed there. Showed what he could do at Colorado State at a mid-major. Posted some awesome numbers. Passes the ball. Great feel. Is going to be a great defensive player. Has a nice little wingspan compared to his height. A very big-bodied guy, too, even though it only says he weighs 202, but very big-bodied guy. I do see a little bit of Moses Moody, actually, just not that like microwave scorer in college that Moses Moody was. Danny Wolf, I've dropped quite a bit on Danny Wolf because doesn't shoot the 3 well. He doesn't play much defense at all. But he can play make, and he ran a lot of pick and roll for Michigan, which is interesting. But it's just like, where can that fit on a team? I'm not sure at this point. I'm trying to fly through these guys. I think if you're watching this video, you probably know a good amount about these guys. And I'm gonna do more and more and more draft work, so I don't really have to dive in on all these guys. Casp is a guy I'm very confused on because this is the truest like 50-50 for me. Because I watch him hit these step back insane threes, make these great high field passes, and I'm like, this dude is nuts. And then I watch him turn the ball over 6 times and miss 15 shots, 5 for 20 from the field or something. I'm like, what are we doing now? But he has a very high level of shot making at times. He's got really good feel, turns the ball over a little too much, doesn't play great defense, but I do think he'll turn into a guy where, for me personally, it was like his upside is so high that I can't really move him too far down on my board because of what he does bad. And so, yeah, I feel like 12 is a pretty solid spot for him. I think I have him like 15 or 14 at this point. Spencer Dinwiddie, Bogdan, Brandon Podziemski I don't love. Jaeger Demon, let me just say this. I'm not a fan of Jaeger Demon. I don't even know where he's so low. Doesn't handle pressure well. Is 6'9", doesn't move well for a point guard. Doesn't play off ball well at all. Doesn't do anything off ball. Doesn't shoot the three well. Shot so bad from three in college. This number isn't right. I don't think. There's no way he shot 18%. Right? I thought it was like 27. Yeah, the number is 27. 27.3. He can pass. He can really pass. But he can't position it. He's not going to be able to get a position to where he can pass, especially the way he creates. It's just not there. It's not there, especially when someone gets into him. He cannot handle pressure at all, and it's for a point guard. It's just bad. Sean Livingston, no. Josh Giddey, sure, somewhat, but I don't like it. Jeremiah Fears, this is my number 4 prospect right now. I'm in love with Jeremiah Fears' game. He does a little bit of everything, gets rebounds. I think he has really good feel and great touch. He's a really good free throw shooter. Shot pretty well in high school throughout, EYBL stuff and just true high school stuff. Kind of got on a hot streak at times where it was like, okay, the shooting's real, and then it kind of fell off or whatever. But I think Fears, for me, I'm buying into the shot making, and I'm buying into just how smooth he is. And guys who move the way Jeremiah Fears moves, you don't really see them being bad all too often. You have the occasional like Killian Hayes guy where he moves really well but just can't do anything. I don't think Jeremiah Fears is like that. I think he gets downhill so much and finishes pretty well inside enough for me to be like, okay, this guy's going to be something. We're 32 minutes into the video, by the way. That's why I'm trying to speed through this. Come on, Malawach moves his feet really well, dunks everything. I have him at 3 right now. He reminds me a lot of Mark Williams. I was super high on Mark Williams. I'm even higher on Malawach because of the way he moves his feet and the potential defense or 3-point upside. Are we kidding me? Derek Queen is a very confusing guy because again, another guy that doesn't play defense, but he does have. And people will say he's not a good athlete. He's not a good vertical athlete, no. But the agility and the way he moves side to side, especially offensively, that's an athletic, right? That's a piece of being an athlete that you cannot overlook for Derek Queen. He's got great feel. Another guy who's great feel. He does block some shots here and there. I mean, 1.1 block, 3.8 block percentage. And he's got good touch around the rim. Could become a pretty decent 3-point shooter. Sabonis, Boris Diaw, sure. Carter Bryant, this is a guy a lot of people are high on. I'm getting high on myself. Imagine Keon Ellis and upsizing him a little bit, and that's what you have in Carter Bryant with a pretty good 3-point shot. I'm right there with guys. Why is Jordan Walsh? This is my biggest problem with the Ringer. Why is Jordan Walsh your comparison when you're the 7th ranked prospect? Never mind. Ace Bailey at 6. I think this is about where he is on my board. Because of his upside, you cannot really move him too much further down. Because of the defensive upside, because of the scoring upside, because of whatever upside you want to say. But there are problems. He's not like an actual great athlete. When he gets inside, he kind of shies away from contact. He takes terrible shots. He doesn't play make at all. He doesn't have good feel at all. But he does know how to feel to get a bucket. And that's what he does. He gets buckets. I don't believe in any of these. Maybe Michael Porter Jr. a little bit. Con Knipple at 5. I can't blame him. He's got the best feel in this draft to me for a non-point guard. Just does everything well. Shoots the ball out of his mind. 93% from the free throw line. 41% from 3-on-5 attempts per game. Con Knipple is going to be a really good player. Trey Johnson is a guy I've moved up a lot higher on, and pure scorer, pure shooter, and a shit show of a Texas offense. He averaged 20 on really good true shooting, on really good from 3. Reminds you a lot of Devin Booker, if I'm being honest. That's what he reminds me of. And most people say, well, he's not a good playmaker. He averaged 2.7 assists, but it was a really good 2.7 assist. He showed really good feel at times, and he made a lot of great passes that I think haven't been really touched on. VJ Edgecombe at 3 is another guy that I'm kind of here on, like I've been talking about, where the pros and the cons are so just kind of there. He's a great athlete, but he's not like a ridiculous athlete. And he did start to shoot the three better, which actually makes me think he's going to be a pretty good player because he does play great defense. So if the three's real, I'm good. I don't think he's a good playmaker in the half court. I think he's going to just sit in the corner at the NBA level, which is fine, but that's what I think he's confined to. And then obviously we have Dylan Harper and Cooper Flag. Dylan Harper, an elite rim scorer, especially getting to the rim at 6'5" for a point guard, and good feel, can pass, does that. And then Cooper Flag, the best defensive prospect we've seen outside of Wemby in a long time, since like AD. And then you look at his numbers, 19, 7, 4. He's the guy. So I hope y'all enjoyed this rerun in the second year of reacting to the Ringer. It was a big board this year, not the mock draft, because obviously a lot went on. I do have a plan to drop a complete deep dive, and probably some film review of the Thunder Pacers series coming up, the finals, on June 4th. Hopefully it comes out. If it's not that, it'll probably be a deep dive with some notes that I'm talking through, and there may not be a single play, but I'm going to try to pull up some plays for what I'm talking about and all that. And then obviously, as we get closer to draft day, I will drop mocks and big boards and whatever else that I feel like. So I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. Please subscribe. And if you don't want to miss any more, hit the bell icon like a true YouTuber. I gotta sign y'all off. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Peace.